When we picture healing, we often imagine calm smiles, peaceful meditations, and serene breakthroughs, neat moments captured like highlights on a screen. But that idealized image leaves out the raw truth. Healing is rarely tidy or polite. It's messy, chaotic, and deeply uncomfortable. It demands facing the parts of yourself you've avoided: anger, pain, confusion, and grief, all tangled up in a storm that feels anything but peaceful. Expecting healing to be smooth sets you up for frustration and self-doubt. When the process gets hard, when old wounds flare, emotions surge, or progress feels slow, it's tempting to give up or think something is wrong. But that struggle is exactly what signals that real change is happening beneath the surface. The mess is not a setback. It's the soil where growth begins. Today, we'll explore why healing is a wild, real process that breaks down before it rebuilds, why discomfort is a sign of transformation, and how embracing the chaos with courage can lead you to deeper freedom and wholeness. This video is meant to support, not replace, your healing journey. Nothing here is medical advice, just guidance and reflection. Healing is not about keeping your emotions neat and polite for others to see. Our culture often praises strength as the ability to stay composed, to hold pain silently, and to minimize the messiness inside. This ideal teaches us to bury discomfort, to smile through the storm, and to hide any sign of weakness. But real healing challenges that. It demands that you face whatever rises within you, raw, unfiltered, and sometimes overwhelming, and allow it space to breathe. The emotions that surface during healing are not disruptions to be controlled or masked. They are signals from a system that's finally releasing long-held tension. Anger might burst forth not because you're failing, but because it's the energy needed to break through old barriers. Grief may flood your consciousness as your heart catches up with what was lost or neglected. Confusion and frustration are signs your mind is struggling to make sense of change, and that's necessary for growth. Each of these feelings is a piece of the emotional truth that has been waiting to be acknowledged. When you permit yourself to express these emotions honestly, even if they don't look proper, you're dismantling the old, rigid system of suppression. Emotional release is the first step to resetting your nervous system from survival mode towards safety and regulation. It's the process where hidden pain becomes visible, where stuck energy begins to flow, and where genuine healing can begin to take root. Resisting these feelings only prolongs the suffering. Pretending everything is fine, or rushing to fix or rationalize the pain, keeps you trapped in cycles of avoidance. Healing asks you to lean into the discomfort with courage, recognizing that emotional expression is not a loss of control, but a reclamation of your true self. It's messy, yes, but it's also powerful, freeing, and ultimately transformative. The moment you stop policing your feelings, you give yourself permission to be fully human. This permission shifts the relationship you have with your inner world from one of judgment to one of compassion. It creates the internal safety necessary for vulnerability, which in turn fosters connection, insight, and resilience. Without this release, healing remains incomplete, a surface-level fix rather than deep restoration. It's important to understand that emotional release doesn't mean chaos without boundaries. It's not an excuse for destructive behavior, but an invitation to authentic expression. The goal is to acknowledge and let go of the emotion, not to get lost in it. Learning to navigate this balance is a skill that develops with practice, often with the support of trusted guides, whether therapists, friends, or healing communities. Healing at its core is the courageous act of reclaiming your emotional truth. It's standing in the storm, knowing it's temporary and necessary. It's a reclaiming of your innate capacity to feel, process, and move through life's pain with grace, not despite the mess, but because of it. Healing is rarely a smooth, linear journey. When you experience emotional upheaval, anger, confusion, chaos, it's not a setback or a sign that you're failing. Instead, it's a powerful indicator that your nervous system is actively releasing old trauma, outdated survival patterns, and limiting beliefs that have held you captive for years. This internal turbulence can feel overwhelming, like your inner world is unraveling. But in truth, this unraveling is the necessary prelude to rewiring your brain and body toward greater peace and resilience. Think of this process as your nervous system recalibrating after a long period of being stuck in fight, flight, or freeze mode. The discomfort is your body's way of adjusting to new ways of being, shifting away from constant hypervigilance and towards safety and regulation. This adjustment involves discomfort because it challenges deeply ingrained habits and defensive reflexes that once served to protect you but now limit your growth. The chaos is the nervous system's way of breaking down old structures so that healthier, more flexible pathways can form. Resistance to this mess, wishing it away, numbing it, or rushing to fix yourself only prolongs the process. When you deny or avoid the turbulence, you effectively stall the healing, leaving the old trauma encoded in your body and mind. Avoidance keeps you trapped in the same cycles, preventing the formation of new, adaptive responses. The messiness you dread is the very mechanism through which transformation unfolds. Embracing this mess means shifting your mindset about what healing looks like. Growth isn't a tidy progression, but an unfolding that often feels messy, uncertain, and raw. Accepting this means allowing yourself to be present with discomfort rather than fleeing it. It means learning to trust the process even when the outcome isn't yet clear. This acceptance creates the psychological flexibility needed to ride the waves of change rather than being overwhelmed by them. Furthermore, this messiness is deeply tied to the body's role in healing. Trauma and emotional pain are not just mental experiences. They live in your muscles, organs, and the nervous system. As these stored tensions release, your body may respond with physical sensations, emotional surges, or fragmented memories. These reactions are signs that healing is happening at a somatic level, often beyond words or rational understanding. Honoring this mess allows your body to do the healing work it's been waiting to complete. This process also invites patience and self-compassion. You're not broken for feeling chaotic or struggling with intense emotions. Instead, you're engaged in a profound transformation, one that requires time, support, and gentle persistence. Recognizing the mess as a vital and healing phase helps you cultivate resilience and reduces the temptation to judge yourself harshly. Ultimately, transformation emerges not in spite of the mess, but because of it. It's the brokenness that opens the door to wholeness. When you embrace the messy reality of healing, you step into a deeper relationship with yourself, one that honors complexity, accepts imperfection, and welcomes growth on its own unpredictable timetable. Healing stripped of pretense demands that you face yourself with brutal honesty. It's not about putting on a polished, enlightened mask for the world or even for your closest circle. Instead, it requires revealing the raw, unfiltered parts of you that society often tells you to hide. The anger, the confusion, the vulnerability, and the moments of feeling utterly lost. This unvarnished self-exposure is terrifying because it challenges long-held defenses built to protect you from judgment and rejection. Yet it's this very courage to be authentic that allows real healing to take root. Authenticity in healing is about dismantling the facade that you are fixed or together. It's about accepting that growth isn't linear, and that setbacks, messy emotions, and uncertainty are integral parts of the journey. When you stop trying to present a perfect image, the strong, capable, or calm version, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of maintaining appearances. This liberation creates space for genuine self-connection, where you can engage with your pain and resilience honestly and deeply. When you choose authenticity, you build trust, not only with others, but critically with yourself. Trust emerges from the consistent practice of acknowledging what you truly feel rather than what you think you should feel. This internal trust is foundational because it signals to your nervous system that you are safe to be real. With trust comes greater emotional regulation and integration, paving the way for lasting change. Without it, healing becomes superficial, fragile, and vulnerable to collapse under pressure. The messy middle, where healing feels chaotic, raw, and unpredictable, is precisely where your true self is revealed. Beneath the discomfort and emotional turmoil lies the authentic core that has been buried beneath years of survival mechanisms, self-protection, and social conditioning. This phase is often misunderstood or feared because it disrupts the comfortable illusions about who you should be. Yet, it is in this disarray that your identity reconstructs itself on firmer, more honest ground. Being authentic doesn't mean you have to share every detail with everyone. It means cultivating an internal culture of truthfulness. It means allowing yourself to experience feelings without censorship and to speak your truth when safe and appropriate. This practice fosters resilience because it trains your mind and body to tolerate vulnerability, which research shows is key to emotional growth and healthy relationships. Authenticity also disrupts the cycle of shame. When you hide your true emotions, shame grows in the shadows. But when you bring your shadow emotions into the light with compassion and honesty, shame loses its power. This illumination diminishes self-criticism and builds self-acceptance, two pillars essential for emotional healing and well-being. Moreover, embracing authenticity invites richer connections with others. When you allow yourself to be seen in your messiness, it opens the door for others to do the same. This mutual vulnerability cultivates intimacy, belonging, and support, essential ingredients for sustainable healing and growth. You learn that you are not alone in your struggles and that connection thrives on truth, not perfection. Choosing authenticity over appearance rewires your relationship with yourself. You stop chasing external validation or approval and start honoring your own emotional reality. This shift is radical because it moves healing beyond performance into presence, the place where transformation is real, grounded, and enduring. The messy middle, then, isn't just a phase. It's the crucible from which your true self emerges. Healing's chaos can feel overwhelming, but the first step is to welcome your emotions without judgment. Every feeling you experience, anger, sadness, confusion, or fear, is a valid and essential signal from your inner world. These emotions aren't random or meaningless. They're messages trying to be heard. When you allow yourself to feel without labeling these emotions as bad or wrong, you create an inner environment where healing can genuinely begin. The practice of non-judgmental awareness requires patience and gentleness. Our minds often want to fix or suppress discomfort immediately, but real healing demands you sit with your feelings, however uncomfortable they may be. This stance of compassionate presence softens the internal conflict and quiets the harsh inner critic that tells you to snap out of it or be strong. By accepting your feelings as they come, you signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax, even amidst emotional turbulence. Finding safe outlets to express and process these feelings is crucial. Journaling can serve as a private conversation with yourself, helping you externalize and organize your emotional experience. Movement, like yoga or walking, connects you to your body and can release tension that words cannot reach. Therapy offers a structured and supportive space to explore the chaos with professional guidance. Trusted friends or support groups provide relational safety, reminding you that vulnerability is not isolation. Patience is your ally in this unpredictable journey. Healing is rarely linear. Expect fluctuations in emotional intensity and progress. Some days will bring clarity and calm, while others might feel like regression or chaos. Recognizing this ebb and flow as natural prevents frustration and self-blame. Instead, it invites a mindset of endurance and kindness toward yourself, reinforcing that setbacks don't mean failure. They mean you're doing the deep work. Self-compassion transforms how you relate to your healing process. Instead of fighting or resenting your feelings, compassion invites you to befriend them. It's the internal voice that says it's okay to feel this way, rather than you shouldn't feel this. This shift diminishes shame and resistance, which are barriers to healing. Compassion doesn't erase pain, but it provides the emotional nourishment needed to navigate it without being consumed by it. Practicing compassion also strengthens your resilience. When you treat yourself kindly during difficult moments, you build emotional muscles to withstand future challenges. You create a psychological safety net that allows you to take the risks healing requires, such as facing painful memories or making difficult changes. Compassion is both the balm and the strength that sustain your journey through chaos. Another key aspect is setting boundaries to protect your emotional space. Healing chaos can be intensified by external stressors or unsupportive people. Learning to say no to what drains you and yes to what nurtures your well-being is a vital expression of compassion. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're acts of self-care that maintain your capacity to heal without overwhelm. Compassion turns chaos into an ally rather than an enemy. It shifts your relationship with discomfort from resistance to curiosity, from fear to acceptance. This reorientation is a powerful catalyst for transformation because it allows healing to unfold at its own pace, with kindness and grace. By navigating chaos with compassion, you reclaim agency and create a fertile ground for growth and renewal. Healing is never about perfection or maintaining a flawless exterior. It is messy, raw, and often uncomfortable. It demands struggle, anger, tears, and brutal honesty with yourself. This process of breaking down is not a sign of failure, but the necessary breaking open for breakthrough. When you find yourself tangled in the chaos and uncertainty, remember you are not failing, you are alive and growing. The pain you experience is proof that your healing is active, that transformation is unfolding beneath the surface. True peace doesn't come from glossing over your wounds or rushing toward a neat resolution. It grows from embracing the mess, the dark, tangled, unpolished parts of your journey. This is where you find authenticity, resilience, and depth. So lean into discomfort with courage and compassion. Your willingness to be present with all of it without resistance marks the real beginning of your healing. The mess you're in now is fertile ground for your most profound growth.